This one's called Kiss Grandma Goodnight. The old ones smell funny. They don't smell of gum, pie, or pink candy, but gardenia and mum. They smell of white flowers, huge dying flowers, and sometimes gin, which kills the long hours. They insist that you kiss their sunken gray lips before they hand over licorice whips. They'll sulk all alone and guzzle cheap gin or talk to dead husbands to feel loved again. But pucker and kiss them, act like a chum, lie that you love them, they're what you'll become. And in my family, we always had to do prayers every night before we went to bed, and then we would have to bless everybody whether you wanted to or not. Prayer before bed. Of course I pray for Mommy's health. She fixes every meal. I bless my sister, Mom insists, although sometimes I conceal an off-the-record prayer inside the prayer my parents hear, that sister get a chronic rash. Well, chronic and severe. But most of all, I pray that God keep Daddy safe and well, that all the charges be dismissed, and that his used cars sell. Make Daddy confident and glib, and keep his handshake firm, so when it's time to close the deal, the suckers never squirm. Lord, keep his commissions high, so I won't have to kneel with nose to grindstone, ear to ground, and shoulder to the wheel. I couldn't work in that stance, Lord, or polish pitted chrome. As much as I love bacon, Lord, let Daddy bring it home. And then I think we've all, as kids, had sexual crushes. And this is a boy that has a crush on Rebecca Kotzwinkle, whose name he can't quite pronounce because of his speech impediment. But he dreams of playing house with Rebecca, and the poem is called Playing House. I loved playing house with Rebecca Kotzwinkle. The first let me kiss her, then pushed me away. I begged, she said no, and then she said maybe. I rubbed up against her and started to sway. I pulled up her third and she pushed it down. Up, down went the third. Then down plunged her panties and up flew her bra, and off went my shoes, my socks and my shirt. I never thought my sweetie'd agree. My penis shriveled to the size of a snail. Oh, Becky, please, please suck my penis. She laughed so hard, she couldn't exhale. The more I said it, the harder she snickered. My penis won't hurt you. Oh, Becky, I promise. But Rebecca Kotzwinkle was done playing house and left me consoling a sullen John Thomas. Enough of that project. I'm hoping to be banned by libraries. The entertainment part of the evening is now over. This is a poem called My Daughter. After midnight, I dragged carpet padding from a trash bin and spread it on the asphalt between the wall and dumpster. Screened from sleet, I pulled carpet fragments over me, and that night I married, raised a family, and outlived everyone except a daughter, a teacher, and her 2 children, one damaged. I woke when a bread truck scraped the bin. From under damp carpet I watched punctilious men sign invoices, sweep, hose down the docks. A boy in a bloody butcher's smock leaned against the wall and smoked through bloody fingers. At night, I search and sometimes find my daughter. I make good money now, I tell her. Let me take Teresa home with me. I can buy the help she needs. My daughter smiles, asks how I'm doing, and I lose the moment to my wife, my job, my actual family. As the thick-faced infant bucks in her arms or beats her forehead hard and almost musically against the table. When I clench her to my belly, she screams, red-faced and rigid. Hush, 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 I serenade her. Oh, unhushable baby, hush. Right after college, I taught school for a year, 6th grade, and then I killed myself. It was the reasonable response to doing it a second year. After teaching, Who at Daddy, Joni sang when Benita rumbled up the aisle, a bull of a girl leaning forward, falling from step to step. Who it Daddy? Who it Daddy? And on the third day, I saw, inside the larger swelling of Benita's swell, an ancient couple turning a corner in an ancient city and holding hands rise into twilight. They never fall, the old couples who rise elegantly into evening. No one finds them lying in wheat fields or draped over oaks like collapsed balloons. Romantics say they rise forever, but I believe they ascend so slowly they starve before they strangle in the thin air and then dissolve in heaven's nothing. When I quit teaching, I moved to that ancient city, and I ghosted there the autobiography of a great man, a fascist sympathizer, yes, but nothing more than that, he said. He loved willows, willows of all kinds. And while I was articulating that love, I drank his purple wine and slept on his lubricious sheets, saying I made a self for him, noble but flawed, briefly disoriented by boyish idealism, as I worked inside the green curtain of the willows. My words for him taught me to love. The circus. The circus. Yes, the girl sneezing pink froth, and the woman fisting her eyes each time another oldie crackles from the ceiling look worse than I do. See them, and find, please, a dentist for the man clutching two molars in a bloody paper towel, and a CPA or lawyer. Summon one for the man squeezing the folder of gray paper to his chest and squeaking grievously. But I have an appointment. I arrived 2 hours ago, on time, a little early in fact, and someone must help me find the Ferris wheel I hear looping in my attic, and the tilt-a-whirl lopsidedly unfolding and refolding in the basement. Through the walls, I hear the oom-pa-pawing of a carousel, and in dark windows and the gleaming facades of black appliances, I glimpse ascending and descending carved horses, real tigers, elephants, and waltzing poodles. Whitewashed clowns ghost across a TV, humbling itself before beer, soap, laundry, and my armpits. muffling the human cannonballs of applause and the dumbfounded wow when an orange torch enters a human face and emerges unquenched. The circus is not my fault or responsibility. Someone must write that down. Someone must sell me a ticket. That's a true story here. Pardon me? I don't have it. No, sorry. I read Stalin's Laughter instead. This is a true story, by the way. The Stalin's Laughter. At the secret policeman's feast, Parker, drunk, sagged between two officers as he ate Zinoviev, hiccuping hilariously and staggering over watery, risible feet as he was dragged to the firing post. A devotee of Momus, son of night, Yosip Vissarionovich was, and Parker, knowing it, mouthed words he could not, in feigned panic, propel from his tongue, because dysphonia is always funny, the ratchet and catch of fractious breath farcical. Parker fell prostrate as Zinoviev had fallen, and as Zinoviev had done, he clutched the boots of his mock guards and cried, "Please, for God's sake, comrade, call Yosip Vissarionovich." And Yosip Vissarionovich, evoked as savior, roared, basso buffo. Parker, as a jester must, pushed harder, raising his arms to the banquet hall's beamed ceiling, as Zinoviev had raised his to the fuliginous brown clouds crowded over the prison yard, and cried, "Hear, O Israel, our God is the only God." Yosip Vissarionovich gagged on laughter, choked on ungovernable mirth. Tears trailed down his cheeks, almost onto the mustache, whose likeness, primarily metaphorical, to Blatella germanica, the German cockroach, paid Mandelstam's umbrageous passage to a common grave outside a transit camp. Stalin slashed his thick hand, "Enough, enough," commanding mercy upon the festive executioners, laughing helplessly. I think it was 8 or 9 years ago, I had been reading Yeats's The Wild Swans at Cool over and over again. And I woke up one morning to hear on the radio that Gwendolyn Brooks had died. And so it occurred to me to wonder, what would happen if you wrote The Wild Swans Skip School after Brooks's most famous poem? The wild swans skip school. We beat wings, we fly rings, we scorn Yeats, we have mates, we won't stay, we fly away. I have time for one more poem. The time has sneaked up on me. This is a poem about a series of massacres, white settlers and Indians back and forth on the frontier. The frontier there being eastern Tennessee and North Alabama. And it's about one of the more famous massacres in early American history. The poem is called American Rendering. We massacred Fort Sims 200 and 47 souls, if you count, as some did even then, blacks, Indians, and mestizos, all scalped, some tortured. And the females of every age were butchered in a manner neither decency nor seemliness of word permit me to describe. The last survivors huddled in a strong house, begging as they burned to curled and dirty cracklin, burned by us, the Red Stick Creeks of Alabama, just recompense for those of us they'd slaughtered. We rejoiced almost a month, and an answer fell on Taloosahatchee, where we, now as a company of whites from Tennessee, ambushed a Creek encampment. Maybe they were even Red Stick Creeks. We shot them like dogs, said Davy Crockett. They fled to a hut, groans, shrieks. We torched it. An Indian boy, 12 or thereabouts, his knees shattered by gunfire, clawed at the dirt in his last agonies. He lay so near the burning house, his grease stewed out of him, wrote Davy Crockett. We were famished, 3 months from home and food and living on parched corn. We dug up their hidden food, potatoes buried beneath the gutted hut, roasted in the inferno. Need forced us to the gray potatoes, though we had rather not. Oil had seeped down on them. They looked like they'd been stewed with fat. Gray potatoes, grease hardening. We gorged on food they'd saved, though all of us would rather not. At the Alamo, we heaved in his turn Crockett on the pyre, a layer of dry wood, a layer of Texans, mesquite, dead Texans. The drunk priest said a word, we lit the fire, and in just minutes a scorched variaca haloed the flames, the grease by which we render America. Thank you, and thank you all.